To Donald Trump's very big week. The race for the White House now appears to be turning to his favor. We'll tell you if that's actually true. We'll also get reaction from RNC Chairman Reince Priebus here to weigh in. Stay tuned. Here, we're glad you're watching. It has not been a good week for Hillary Clinton. Every day, another damning report released. Yesterday, the New York Post, America's greatest newspaper, reported that Hillary Clinton continued to email classified information even after she was no longer serving as the Secretary of State. Where did she get that information, and why was she emailing it? Back with us, perhaps to answer these questions, is Charlie Hurt, Leslie Marshall, and Daneen Borelli. Daneen, you're the closest, so I ask you.
Yes.
Why in the world would Hillary Clinton, as a private citizen, have access to classified information?
Because she can. Listen,
good answer.
The Clintons get away with so much, Tucker. It's just unbelievable. And the last segment we were talking about how she's basically in hiding in over 270 days and not making press appearances. And yeah, she's riddled with scandals. She doesn't want to answer any questions. I don't think she's even able to. She has to keep up with so many lies, Tucker, that I don't even think she can answer any questions from the press at this point. And for people, Americans want answers from Hillary Clinton, and unfortunately, she's not being held accountable for anything that she has done for many, many years. She has spent millions of money on ads, and the polls, she should be much further away in the polls than she is now, and she's not.
You would
so all the money she's spending, it's not helping.
So Leslie Marshall, you're a sincere liberal and a person of goodwill. You believe that the powerful should be held to the same standards as everyone else. They shouldn't have advantages over us. They shouldn't have a separate and unequal justice system, of course. So you'll concede that if Hillary Clinton were a private citizen, if she weren't the most famous woman in the world, and in fact the head of the Democratic Party, she'd be in very deep trouble, wouldn't she?
But she is not a private citizen. Not only is she running for president, she's former Secretary of State, former senator, a former First Lady. She's not a Joe and Jane Q public person. She isn't. I mean, I'm a realist too, though, Tucker. I mean, let's be honest. She's a former Secretary of State. Would you have a problem with?
And I would. I'd have a problem with any powerful person who gets away with behavior that I wouldn't be allowed to get away with, or someone, providing daycare for my kids wouldn't be allowed to get away with. And as a liberal, I would think you would say, this is wrong. We should all be held to the same standard. The powerful shouldn't have a lower bar for their behavior than the average person has. What's the point of being a liberal if you don't believe that, right?
The problem is, although I know you and others desire her to be dragged off in chains in an orange suit and put behind bars for this, that's not unrealistic. That's not going to happen. And that would not happen to me, by the way, if I obtained classified information as a Jane Q
And that's
public.
what's wrong with the country.
Charlie, whatever happened to Principal? Write the obituary for Principal, if you would.
Well, for how long we've heard from the media about the importance of transparency, and President Obama promised to be the most transparent administration ever. Well, you know what? Donald Trump is running the most transparent presidential campaign in history. And as you pointed out earlier, it's probably been a little too transparent, and probably has taught us that maybe too much transparency is not always a good thing. But why aren't these people lining up behind Donald Trump? They should all be supporting Donald Trump, because of course Hillary Clinton is running the least transparent presidential campaign.
There's no man behind the curtain. In fact, there's no curtain. Very quickly, Daneen, liberals have been very upset for years about the effect of money. Here's a guy who got the nomination spending less money than we spent on spring break last year. Why are good government liberals not jumping up and down in glee at the Donald Trump phenomenon?
It's very interesting, this campaign. But I tell you, so many people are supporting Donald Trump because he's an anti-establishment politician. It's not your dad's political campaign from many, many years ago.
No.
So he has certainly turned things upside down.
Unless your dad was Earl Long or something. Thank you. Daneen, you're all awesome. We're out of time, but thanks for coming on.
Thanks,